Hi, my name is Teelah Hall. I'm running again for the open position on the select board due to Dana's retirement. There is a vacancy. Dana has some big shoes to fill, but I feel like because I received over 150 votes, I need to give Cambridge the opportunity to vote for me if they feel I would be a good fit. I grew up in a Montessori environment, so when I start something, it's important for me to finish it through. So here we are. So really, I want to kind of explain who I am. I know most of you have already read my bio, but I might as well tell you again a little bit about my resume and who I am as a person. I am a newbie to Cambridge. I came to Vermont when I was 18 years old after college at the Northern Vermont University, previously known as Linden. I needed to make a decision on either going back home or staying in Vermont, but I was in a bit of a hard place. I had $17 in my bank account and a car that it barely ran. I had to beat it with a mallet just to get the heat to stay on. I applied for as many jobs as I could, but being a recent job with no experience, I was not having luck. I finally applied for an unpaid position at CPA Site Solutions, and I was offered a job there, and I started at $12 an hour, and I worked my way up, and that's where I am currently, and I've been there for 9 years professionally. So now I'm a manager there, and I've worked really hard where I am now. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn. Some people have already done so. I'm trying to expand my bubble just a little bit. I was super excited to see that Norm had endorsed me because he knows me professionally and personally. He is my neighbor, but not originally. We actually worked together, and he lives right in Jeffersonville. And when I moved, we started carpooling together for a little while. One thing that you should know about me is that I'm an extremely hard worker, and I have the willingness to learn. I know that I have a lot to learn. I've been working really closely with George Putnam, just asking him so many questions, bombarding him, blowing up his inbox, and he is so quick to respond, and he has just been feeding me with so much education on what the select board does and who the whole history of Cambridge. I'm learning so much. I really do think that this was a great testimonial to me from Norm, just because I think that being a hard worker is something that you might be looking for a member to join our local government. Now, I also wanted to show you kind of what I've done. So since the last time I made kind of a video, I've done just a couple things. I have been slowly doing something daily, just to kind of put my toes in the water, expand my knowledge a little bit, learning more about the community and how things work. So in the very beginning of the month, I'm super interested in being more energy efficient. I did have a solar visit. I had somebody come here and look and give me quotes, and I got to pick their brain, build a relationship with them, just to understand how I could go solar, and if it's affordable. And I'd love to provide more information. I attended a meeting last night with the planning committee that they have some really great plans and resources for you that they're going to send over. I did put this one in for February 8th. I love this town so much. I went to the little town down the street from me and got a matching egg apron with my daughter. We have a bunch of little chickens, and collecting eggs is something that we love to do together. So we both have matching egg aprons, and I'm really excited about it. On February 10th, I did the Meet the Candidates night via Zoom. You may have met me. I'm not sure if you were there. It was I think about 50 people that attended. February 14th, I voted by mail, trying to keep a safe distance. On February 15th, I started a take a toy, leave a toy, which is a bin outside my house. I think it'll be, I've had a couple of people stop by. We trade out toys for our kids. We just, sanitize them off. And then I think it'll be a little bit more popular in the springtime when my pull-off is plowed. So unfortunately, the winter is a little bit hard. So I hope to get that going a little bit more and maybe reach out to the library and see if this is something that I could leave by the library, make it easier for somebody to pick up. I live on Route 15, so it's a little bit of a busy driveway. February 16th, I got approval for a blind driveway sign. I was really excited about this because I got to work with the unit of transportation and build a relationship with them, learn how things worked, how to get signage, and help other people get signage. So if you notice on Route 15, you're going to see a bunch of blind driveway signs. It's a small win, but I live right on that S corner after the wrong way bridge. It's needed. It's a 50-mile-an-hour corner. I don't know why it's 50 miles an hour. That's a whole new project. But it's a big win for me, and I just feel like I did something. And I learned a lot just building a relationship. On February 23rd, I became a notary. This was kind of a longer process behind the scenes, of course, from January and through February, because you do have to take an exam now. You do have to get something notarized, which isn't quite as easy as it was in the non-COVID times. And I do have 2 small children, so taking them in and out of the car is not very easy either. But becoming a notary was really important to me. I do still need to get a stamp, but I am excited that I can help out my community in that way. And February 24th, I met with the Vermont State Representative of Cambridge and Waterville, Lucy Rogers, who I really do respect her. She's just amazing and wonderful to work with. And she's kind of, having phone calls with her is always just it's so nice. Unfortunately, we were having a little bit of service issues, which is something that I would love to talk about in the next couple slides. And on February 25th, I had attended a select board meeting, and an article was published in the News and Citizen with questions and answers from me and Larry. And I do think it's really helpful for you to kind of go over and look at those. And on February 28th, towards the end of the month, I had wrote to Governor Phil Scott because I just got to get my name out there. I had a resident reach out to me with a problem, and I kind of wanted to help, see if I could help start a petition and understand how this process works about kind of changing a mask mandate for small children. And these are small children from 2 to 5 years old, really is where we're focusing, 2 to 4 really, but of just changing that word requirement to recommendation, because everybody knows that it's recommended that we wear masks, and it is just so nice to be able to see faces, especially for little children. And I know my kid, she's 18 months old, and she misses seeing her friends' faces. She really hasn't even been able to see her friends' faces. Really, almost her whole life has been COVID. So I would strongly recommend for some school systems to consider recommending the masks and wearing when appropriate, but seeing our little children's faces again is important to me. And what I've done in March. So it's now the 16th of March. The beginning of March, was a roller coaster. So the second, I did receive 154 votes from the town of Cambridge, and I am just blessed and honored to have received that many votes. On March 3rd, I attended a select board meeting. Even though I had lost, I still would love to learn more and understand more, and I would have loved to jump into a committee or something, see how I could volunteer my time in some way. So I'm really sitting back and I'm listening to a lot of meetings that are had, and seeing where I can help. On March 4th, though, shockingly enough, Courtney and I spoke about the unexpected retirement of Dana. She had asked me to call her on the 4th in the morning before she had announced it on Facebook or Front Porch Forum, which took me by surprise for the most part. I was kind of shocked, and I wasn't quite sure what I should do in that scenario. But with, looking into it further, I think I owe it to the town of Cambridge to show you that I was serious about this position, and I do think that I would be a good fit, but I want to leave it up to you because democracy is so important. On March 5th, I completed a LinkedIn certificate. I am a learner, so I am constantly learning. And I thought that, data analyst was something that was super interesting and important to have in a select board member spot, because without data, you don't always know what decisions should be made. On March 6th, I attended a meeting with the Vermont tax expansion. Very interesting. A great group of people just listening in and understanding this expansion that they've been talking about for quite some time now. I would love to provide more information. There's actually a petition to stop it if this is something that you do not want to happen, but not a lot of people know about it. So March 7th, the president of the board of directors of the Varnum Library reached out to me to see if I want to volunteer my time at the library. And on March 9th, I also joined that select board meeting to discuss the vacancy. Oh, I have accepted the committee as well, in hopes I can help them in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just reading, I'll read to children. I'm willing to volunteer my time. On March 10th, I took a survey posted on the Cambridge Recreation Board. It was posted on Front Porch Forum. I'm a big survey person, so you put a survey on Front Porch Forum, I'm going to eat it up because I just think that giving my feedback or feedback of the town is going to help in some way or another. The more participation for surveys is better results. And on March 14th, my hidden driveway sign was posted on Route 15 near the Roxbury Bridge. So it was finally put up, and that was super exciting. My plan in the next couple weeks, March 15th, yesterday I attended the Cambridge Planning Commission meeting. Super interesting, intelligent group. Really excited what they're doing. I hope to be a little bit more of a listener eventually, but right now I'm just kind of trying to listen in and understand and learn. But my biggest plan is to reach out and to kind of answer questions over Front Page Forum, the Facebook. You'll see my name a lot. When I don't have the answer to your question, I do a lot of due diligence in finding it. One of my biggest things are setting up and managing petitions and just kind of learning and trying to find the answer for you and who would be the appropriate person to actually answer or do that or fix the problem. I am a problem solver by nature, so I might be extremely annoying, but that might be the greatest part about having me on the select board is because I follow up and I really drill down to find the most important issues. The Planning Commission meeting was great last night. Today will be the select board meeting at 7 p.m. and I really encourage you all to join, as I do think that they're appointing somebody to fill the vacancy up until it is voted in May, I believe. So just learning more information. There's also a couple legal issues that you guys should be aware of and just kind of listen into. Today, I also plan on doing the Lamoille FiberNet Starlink system survey that was just sent out in Front Porch Forum. Happy to share it with you if anyone has any questions or just wants to link to it. I'll share it in the comments. And then upcoming, I'm kind of working on signage for the special town meeting. Once we get that date, I really want to get a sign printed and I'll post it in my yard. I will talk to maybe a couple of people in the town office and see if how we can get it into a spot that people will actually see it, because a special town meeting is something that people don't expect to happen. So I hope to have a bigger turnout, even though 50 people on Zoom was a great turnout. There are 4,000 people, almost 4,000 people in this town, 3,000 registered voters. So obviously there's some children that can't vote, or, it would be great to see some young kids kind of learning this stuff, in high school. That would be awesome. How much knowledge it takes and education it takes to learn all this stuff. There's no class for this. So I encourage you, take your kids, have them listen in. And learning the Robert's Rule of Order has been fun. I've been kind of, using this in my managers meetings in the morning, as we're like, you know what, we're going to just practice. We do have members of different towns, select boards in that meeting with me. So they're able to kind of teach me hand on hand. April 8th, I wanted to attend the Village of Jeffersonville, Vermont, the adjustment notice of public hearing. I had registered for that, and they had sent me an email to follow up with them. So I'm still getting involved, and I only mentioned these committees because I actually couldn't find the minutes yet for 2021 meetings for other committees. So I don't know if they're posted yet, or I just have to reach out to the presidents of their committees to see if I can find where the invites are, because they all are public. And then addressing that infrastructure issues that have come up. On February 27th, a wonderful discussion was had amongst the residents of Cambridge. I'm trying to be respectful of balancing the budget of our property tax dollars, but also listening to the people and figuring out where we think our taxes should go. But keeping taxes as low as possible is extremely important to me. I mean, I'm a resident here, so of course I want to keep them low. I also want to say that I know that the internet is a slow and difficult process. There seems to be a lot of moving parts in the background, and I think we can communicate better of where we are in this process, because there are a lot of people working on it, but I don't know if everybody knows about it. The one thing I do know about customer service is that people just want to be listened to and want to be heard. They also want to hear action plans and understand the reasons of why something's not going to happen, or why something is important to the select board. I'm not blind to the fact that all issues take time, and the select board's job is to make suggestions and request changes, but I also think that select board needs to follow up on these changes and brainstorm creatively on how to keep tax costs low while also improving our town in a way that really benefits the town of Cambridge. So here's a couple notes that I took while listening to everybody on the internet issue that we very blatantly have, where a lot of us are remote. We need telecommunication resources. We need to know what is available and where. I personally use Stow Cable. It's great quality. It is expensive. Maybe not expensive to some people that have better salaries than me, but it is expensive based off my salary. So having more affordable options is great, and there are a lot of things that you can do. The CDAC is working on a bunch of changes, and I know that it's a constant topic, but I do think we need to do a better job communicating where we are and what we can do. There's a survey right now that is online. I can send it to you. That would be helpful. Problem number 2, the intersection of Route 108 by the monument. Obviously an awkward intersection. I had reached out to a engineer for the traffic operations, and they did investigate the issue. They did a crash report. Unfortunately, a lot of crashes have not been reported there. So actually, in the last 5 years, technically, there was only 1 crash reported. So it's not something that they are putting on their really high priority list. This is a matter that if the town really felt strongly about, we could bring it up into a select board agenda meeting. But just note that, there's only one crash. It also was noted that it's an extremely, not an easy place to put a three-way stop, because there's going to be, some areas that need to be improved upon. And I could share the exact email also in this thread. I will totally public post it in here. I had reached out because I know that this has been reached out in the past, but I'm just wondering how much we have followed up on it. They did find that there's an advanced route marker that could be added, and they are doing that. There's a work order that's being created on that. And I can read you a paragraph from the traffic operations engineer at the very end. In our review of our intersection, we did look at the crash history. And this intersection is not a high crash location. In the last 5-year period, there was only one intersection-related crash. During our review, we did see where we can add an advanced route marker assembly for the Route 108 south turn, which should be beneficial to give the eastbound drivers more decision-making, and a work order to add the sign assembly will be processed soon. And they are quick with work orders. I did the blind driveway sign, and they were so quick that I didn't even notice it was up until just the other day. I had driven by it. This is something that can be addressed. We just need to figure out how important on this priority list. There were a bunch of ideas, and this was just a small inquiry. As Krista had pointed out, I apologize if I have said your name and you didn't want to be on this slideshow, but I do want to shout you out because you've been really vocal. This was such a small inquiry, and we got so many ideas, and it would be great if we got more people involved. Right now, only 5% of people in Cambridge are part of making decisions around here. I'm not saying that a lot of people don't care. I think a lot of people don't know that their voices can be heard, and it is so easy. This is a small town. You can go to the town administrator. I know that right now we have somebody working as an intern, but eventually we will have somebody that will be full-time on it. But you can go to somebody in the select board. There are neighbors. They are available. I mean, George has just, responded to me like a crazy paragraphs. I told him he needs to write a book because the amount that I've learned from him has been great. Is there a book about everything that you've known? You've been on the select board for a couple of years now. And he did say that, he's still learning. And I expect to do the same exact thing. So here's a couple ideas that they have, and just brainstorming and having a discussion, and not just join the committee meetings. I mean, a lot of these things are topics that they're already having, and you can jump in. They're all public, so jump in and you can express your ideas. You can be put on the agenda. It's important. And just so you have my contact information, you can call me, and anytime you can text me, you can email me. I'm available, and I do hope to earn your vote for the position on the select board. I will put you'll see my name in the hat again, I'm sure, in the future, because there is a lot to learn, and there are going to be a lot of qualified candidates. I'm sure of it, that will be on the ballot. But I do want to see more people go in and vote this time, especially this weird election that doesn't normally happen in May. I think it'll be harder to get people there, but maybe with just a little push, maybe a little bit more signage, maybe we can get some younger folks out there to also vote and care, just as much as I do about our town. Thank you so much for your time. And if you made it this far in my boring presentation, you can tell that I am a manager, and PowerPoints are my thing. So I hope to see you around.